What's up, guys? PJ checking in. I am doing a bit of prep for the upcoming week. It is Sunday, and I just wanted to record how I'm prepping and applying what I've learned in the past few weeks. And especially this week, I've learned a lot of stuff. Yes, on YouTube. If you haven't seen the previous video, I've talked about the different YouTubers I'm watching. There's Brad from the Trading Geek, and there's also Scarface Trades and G Dub. Now, other people as well, but these are the main people. I know there's mixed feelings and I don't know how to explain this, but like some people think that Brad is a scammer. Some people think that Scarface is a scammer. I honestly don't know. All I know is that the information I'm finding makes a lot of sense and it's helping me in my learning journey to trade. And the main strategies that I'm using for day trading are coming from Scarface and GDub, which is basically often a break and retest. It can be with the 5 minute opening range, the 50-minute opening range, and it could also be the 30 minutes opening range. Sometimes it's going to be above the previous day high, previous day low, pre-market high, so on and so on. So this is what I am testing for probably the next weeks and months and see how it goes for me, because I don't want to change strategy just because I don't necessarily have result in the present moment. So jumping here, practicing as well my pattern recognition right here. I think what I see is I don't remember how they call it. I will probably have to print this as well, just like I did for the candlestick right here. I don't remember them by heart already, except for the hammer candle. The hammer candle right here, pretty easy to remember. The bullish engulfing and the morning star. So these three actually are my favorite, easy to spot and like giving good result. However, what happened here? What happened? Um, don't rely just on these candle to take an entry. Obviously, it's not always working. So, anyways, I see a pattern right here. I don't remember how they call this. Um, I also don't know if I'm actually drawing my stuff like in a very precise way or quote unquote the best way, but still I can see the pattern that is happening right here. So hopefully it's just gonna keep going. This is the daily time frame, keep going and break above that. But this is the pattern that I'm seeing right here on this time frame. So um, not much to talk about here. There's the EMA as well, the 9 and the 21. It did rebounds on the 9 EMA, and now it's above it. I would go down from there to the 4 hour time frame and delete a few things just like that. And you can see the same pattern right here. Same thing. Um, Now what I would do is apply a few things I've learned in Brad's video about. There's a fair value gap, there's the order block, there's the supply and demand zone, there's the premium, and I forgot the other words. I'm not gonna necessarily look at the premium right now. This is like there's so many things you can learn about about the stock market and how to trade and how to analyze chart and market structure and all that if you try to learn everything, at least for me, very quickly, it can be cognitively demanding and probably counterproductive as well. Like if you try to just gather as much as you can in the shortest amount of time, you're not going to be able to remember everything, implement everything, and make sense of everything. The brain literally needs to slow down so that it can process the information and it can make different connections. And there's many things you can do to strengthen these connections as well. But if you never practice, it's just not going to strengthen at all. So yeah, this pattern now, maybe I see another one. I'm not sure. You can tell me guys in the comments what you think about this one. Maybe I see some kind of cup and handle right here. So it's interesting. It could be these both things. I don't know, but in both cases, I would say apparently. Sorry for my drawing. I had another image in my mind when I drew this one. Anyways, both pattern apparently are bullish patterns, so that's great. Now on a 4 hour time frame, I would say that we are bullish. There is a the lower low right here, and then we have a higher high right here, higher low, and higher high. So to me, it's a bullish time frame. Now, if I look at this and I try to see if there's any zone that would be worth marking on here, just to practice this, um, probably this zone right here that would probably be called something like an order block, an order supply and demand zone. And apparently they're pretty much the same. They just don't have the same strength, and they have some similarities and differences. I am not experienced enough to tell you guys right now what would be that difference. I can see another one right here, and I would say that's pretty much it for this time frame. If you see something I haven't seen, just let me know in the comments. Let's jump to the 1 hour time frame now. Reset that view. Okay, so yeah, here it's a bit clearer about this cup and handle. You might ask if you never seen this. You might say, "Well, how's that a cup and handle if I see all of these things right here?" So apparently, it's like spotting a pattern. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's like apparently that could be like some noise in the overall thing. I might be wrong. Again, don't take my words for granted. I'm a beginner trader. I have been trading for 3 weeks consistently. That's not a lot of data, not a lot of experience. Um, but this is my journey. I'm documenting it right now. So, anyways, I think that's a clear cup and handle pattern. Um, if I move here, what are the obvious number one point of support and resistance, and number two, the obvious fair value gap, obvious zone that should be marked out for the upcoming week and upcoming days. As you can see right now, the price is around 313. So obviously you're not going to go marked out necessarily some stuff right here. I don't think the price is going to lose around, I don't know, like 40% in one day. So it's not worth to, like go too far behind depending on like Marvel is in a all-time range, I will say like this. So there's no level above that right here. I'm pointing at my hands, but there's no level right here beyond like that, above that. So it's not worth it to go really back in time. However, you can go here and mark a few level. You can see the zone I've marked out is kind of valid. Like it went in here and then it consolidated here many times. So it's a zone that has some friction, if I can say. Now it could be mitigated. I don't know if it would still be valid, if it would go down here, but you can refine these in this lower time frame, and this is something I like to do. Now since the price is around here, I will probably just start from here and go ahead and see, okay, there's a lot of displacement here after this candle. Could that be a supply and demand zone? Potentially. Now you might wondering, like, should I draw the whole thing from the wick to wick to the body? um, that's something I'm testing right now as well. So in this case, I would be tempted to just do this right here because there's a touch that finish here. This kind of because this could have went into this one and went up to this one, and then there's a touch right here, and these one are touching the upper side of this box. So I will leave it like this, and we'll see how the price reacts, tomorrow. So there's one zone there. Now I would also say there's a lot of displacement right here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some resistance when and if the price goes up right here. And what I would do also is go back and see if there's other places. Um, so this is not one because, as you can see, the wick right here is at this similar same level as this one. So there's no displacement. Just like here, the wick is right here, the next wick is right here. So all that is considered apparently as a fair value gap. Now, Brad's often there's a lot of stuff on there. I don't know if it's too much. Fair value gap. Do I have? Yes. Okay. For me, it's yellow. I don't know if I should put another color for that. Maybe some bluish like that. And I don't know, blue like that. So that would be the fair value gap. Now, honestly, I'm marking it out just once for this week. It's pretty much the same as this one anyway, but I don't know how I would use this. Like, is this why the big candle, red candle here, because it went up so drastically that it had to come back down in the zone to fulfill their orders? I don't know. That might be something like this. I will see. I will learn. And if you guys have information about that, let me know in the comments as well. Now let's go down to the 15-minute time frame, and we have a bit more of a picture of this. This is a very drastic move right here. So what I would do is to mark this out like that. And that would be a, do I have a supply and demand zone? I don't have like this. So I would probably just create a new one. I don't know what color I can give to this. Maybe we can go with purple. I will refine this later maybe. And let's go in here, supply and demand zone, because I don't want to have two templates for the supply zone and the demand zone, because the supply and demand zone can, like the supply zone can become the demand zone and vice versa. So uh, let's do like this, supply and demand is there we go. So what are potentially these doing and telling you in the overall um, unfolding of the coming day is that when I was not marking these out, I would wonder why the price would stop at some places, why the price would consolidate around different zones, and instead of just going up and up and up and up, or down and down and down and down. And as I backtested these things, it's not perfect yet. But I could see that the price was actually really going in these zones and stopping to specific points, specific lines, specific boxes. And so it gives you some comprehension and also confluence in different setup to see, like, if it's going and breaking above different zone, there's more power there, I think. And let's say if you go for a long. Um that's a lot of drawings. I don't know if it's necessary. I didn't do that for the last week because I've just learned this. So I don't know if it's worth doing. I don't know if it's going to be too much noise, too much stuff on my screen when I'll be day trading. But I'm testing it, and I will see if I like having this, if it makes sense for me, or it's just like a distraction. Um, Now, another thing I like to mark out, and in this case, it would be the previous day high and previous day low. And I like to do this in the 5-minute time frame and also sometime in 1 minute time frame. Now, I could be doing this on the daily time frame, 4 hour time frame, if I would be using something like that, this line and that's it. However, I like to draw a box. This is something I've learned from GDub because it gives you more room. Now, GDub is drawing much bigger boxes. I don't like to draw them too big because then it can become confusing when you want to see the potential break and read this. And I've found that my boxes that are not a line, not a big box, just a small box, are really kind of target and on point, especially when you mix them with these other supply and demand zone and fair value gap and all this stuff. Um, so that's the previous day high. And if I go here, I'm going to mark out the previous day low right there. Now, as you can see, there's a big wick. And this is why I like to go in lower time frame. In this case, I'm curious to see what happened to this price in the lower portion of this. You still have a big wick. You know, there's still a big wick. It went down there. Um, you could potentially as well mark this zone if you want to make sure, but still that would be considered as the lower of the previous day low. Now, if I go back on the 15-minute time frame, reset the chart, other level that I think I could be marking out um, right here is probably an area. I don't know where exactly it has started, but it's an area that to me has some support and resistance, as you can see like this. um, I'm not going to point it out, but there's multiple places where the price went there, went down, and then it tried this zone again, went down. It broke above, but not that much. It went down in that zone. Same thing here. So I wouldn't be surprised that if the price goes down, as you can see here, the previous day low is here, but it would probably have to break like underneath that to go there. So potentially that could give you an entry. I don't know if there's a lot of space between these two. Yeah, you can still have like a 1% entry there, which is a very good trade. 1% is really good. Even if you can add like 5 to 10% with these stocks, it's crazy. That's still a good entry, especially when you're a beginner and you want to be conservative. But this zone right here, you can see it was tested here. So it's, to me, there's a lot of stuff happening in that zone. Same thing right here. So there's a lot of stuff. It could be refined a bit, but still, I'm going to see how it's going to react tomorrow, if it goes down or not. Other level I could mark out. Now I'm on the 15-minute time frame. So I have this already. That is not worth it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go down in the 5-minute time frame. Um, So as you can see, you can better see this zone right here, the support, supply and demand, and even here could probably be considered like a smaller zone, like which more strength. Now you might be like, "Are you crazy? Are you drawing that for real?" Yeah, let's try it. Like this is, to me, I don't know if it's still valid, but you can see the overlay of purple on purple. This area is stronger, and I don't know if that's that's a real thing, but I'm curious to see if it will be a real thing or not for that. Now, we might be asking, okay, is there any zone right here? Because the price has consolidated and played in that range. Where's that coming from? Where is that actually coming from? So if I go back, I would say it's coming from exactly this zone right here. We could refine this, I would guess, just like that. And I would be tempted to just put it like that right here. And I'll put this one in yellow and see if it's like, yeah, I don't know. You see, it's like, it's a lot. If I go in 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, and I go ahead and see here what happened. Yeah, that happened really like really quickly. Um, yeah, that there's a lot of being created on this lower time frame this year is another point. So I think it's pretty intense. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them honestly tomorrow, but I will see. Um, so coming into tomorrow, depending on how the price react in the pre-market, I have my previous day marked out, previous day low. And what I would like to see, of course, is a continuation to the upside. So depending on where the price will open, if it stays about that level, as you can see, there is a lot of space between the opening, if that's where it would open, and the previous day high. So I would be looking for something like the pre-market high, break and retest, or maybe the 500 opening range break and retest. And otherwise, it would be a reclaim of the previous day low, so going a bit under the previous day low, break and retest, and that could give us quite a ride, though, like almost 8% to the previous day high. Now, would I hold my full position for 8%? I don't think so, because I don't have enough. I don't feel enough confidence in my trading abilities right now. But let's say I would enter around here and I would have a short around here. I would, like, as you can see, just like 1% is just right here to this zone right there. And then I could take some profit there and I could put this to another zone. I don't know exactly where. Uh, but that's the beauty of being a beginner in this guys. One thing I would say is don't be too eager and put too much money in because you feel like confident. One feeling I was feeling and probably still feeling when I'm watching different YouTube videos about trading, especially strategy, is like these guys are making it look so easy. And I don't doubt that some of them are really making money with this, but they use many, many different things to have more confluence in their entries, and they don't always show it in a single video, and they don't show everything on YouTube because they want to make money. They want you to buy either the live trading, the community, the accelerator, the course, the mentorship, whatever they have to offer, which can be also valuable. Still, don't trade blindly with only one thing. I've done that in the beginning. I still do it sometime. What I've learned, especially today from Umar, I don't know if I pronounced it as well, but is that if you're not sure about your trade, like you don't feel very confident about your trade, but you still want to test it, just don't put as much money as you would if you would feel very confident with your entry in your trade. Instead of, I don't know, putting $1,000 in a trade, if I don't feel confident, I will put probably $100, $50, or just paper trade. It doesn't matter. When you begin, it's not about making money. And I gotta say, I felt this urgency to start making money really quickly when I started trading because I was like, oh, like that would be really nice and a great source of revenue and all and all. And I could have been lucky and have a few nice trade investing 20K right away and make 2K, 3K, 4K. But the opposite could have been true as well. When you become consistent, I cannot say when I'll be consistent. I cannot say what's going to be what my win rate. It could be in the next week, could be in 3 weeks, could be in 3 months. I don't know. But knowing that when I'll be consistent with low numbers and pepper trade, it's going to be the same thing. More money is not going to be different. It's going to feel different. It might going to feel like a bit more stressful and fearful, but it's still going to be the same. If your strategy, your entries, your confluence, everything, the way you do it works with $100, it will work with $10,000, it will work with $100,000 as well. So that's how I'm prepping my week. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing all of these different boxes. That's a lot. And one thing you can notice along the way when you're trading, you can still trade these boxes as you watch the market. Don't be There's so many lessons I'm learning, but don't one thing I feel when the market is opening is like I feel in a rush because like the first 5 minutes goes very fast. I want to mark out the top of this first 5 minute candle and the low of this 5 minute candle so that I can potentially uh like have the break and retest of the opening range. And then I'm doing this with, I don't know, three, four, five, six, seven stocks sometime, because a lot of stock can be bullish, and I'm like, you don't know exactly which one is going to actually present your setup that you're looking for. So keep your calm. If you miss an entry, it's, I would say, better than losing money because you're too much in a rush. So this is a long video. I don't even know if anyone is going to watch this, but at least for me, it's helpful documenting my journey. And at some point in my journey, when I'll have, I don't know, maybe in a year or two, whenever I'm going to be profitable and I have a good winning percentages, I'll have this to show people how where I got started and how it was in the beginning.